think I'm supposed to be here at 3:15. I might be a few minutes late, I got a guy training, so.
We're not ready at 3:15, so you're good.
I forgot. He said,
No, that's
I'm
all
going,
right.
hey, am I, oops.
Okay, had an agenda mosquito board larva planning. Is that to order some,
I think it's to check in and see what we're gonna do there. I mean, it's not gonna be very long, we're gonna be looking at mosquito larvae
right,
and this.
One question I have is, this is a 5-person board. We do have 2 mosquito board members. Of course, we've done this before, and I don't see them here. Were they called?
Who are they?
I don't know. I don't have my list with me, but it seems to me that we shouldn't have any discussions without the full board here. And
Well,
then-
Chuck Allen, I believe, is one of them.
let's set it for the next
Okay.
meeting date then, which would be,
Is Darlene Drake still on that?
No, I'm thinking it's Elsie, but I could be
And
wrong.
I think Elsie might have resigned, I'm not
I
sure.
think,
I think she did, I think Chuck is the only volunteer member left on that board.
Yeah,
well,
that's,
it'd be good to have him here because he'd have expertise and understanding
yeah.
of what's going on in the past.
Well, and it's respect. You know, we don't want to just take over things. I think we need to be calling and involving our board members.
If I can just make a comment about Chuck, of course, when you call him, he's very involved in a lot of volunteer stuff. He does that, he does it here, he does it up there, he does if I put it on one thing, but the A, and so, if you do it on a Monday, that might be good, because in the past, we've had our executive board meetings on a Monday,
put it
and
down here
he's
for
always been able to attend it. When you get into
the 11:15.
like a Wednesday, that might be hard,
On
so.
the 6th.
And you call Chuck Allen?
Who is there to call it?
Chuck Allen.
Okay.
At least. You'll have to find out who else is on that board if he's not the only one. But I think he needs to be here,
Oh, yeah.
and any other members.
So we,
He's been there quite a while, I think.
I think so too. He's done a good job.
Mhm.
And that's the other reason I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah, he wants to
Have
have
this
a
without
meeting,
calling.
I asked you, do I want to be on it, I said, no.
I have a question for you, Sharon. And I was reading the Reporter the other day, and there was an article there about Brenda coming and wanting to know about on the agenda, and it said there that I had said that I would write a letter of apology.
It's on my recording.
No, what I said was, somebody needs to write it, and it wasn't me.
Yeah. She did not say she would have a
No.
Okay, I will pass that on. I guess that's how I heard it.
Yeah. No, I said somebody needs to, but I'm not that somebody.
Okay.
I'm at the mosquito board working meeting.
Mhm.
Should do before we get, the 26th, when that tester representatives are coming. I
9 o'clock.
cannot be here on the 26th. And, I just mentioned a while ago, Elaine thought she had a funeral on the 26th.
I don't know yet when the funeral is for sure.
But either later in the afternoon, I got 2 meetings before that, or already scheduled, or Friday.
Well, I'll let you guys work with Shannon, then I'll stay with 9 o'clock on Thursday unless she emails me that you guys contacted her and VOR's changed their schedule. We have people coming from, 2 people from Billings with VOR, and then Shannon and somebody else from the office. So whatever you guys want to do is fine with me.
Will Ted himself be here?
I don't know. But I do know that regardless of the senator and the folks coming from Billings,
We need a meeting.
Well, yeah, and I didn't get any response from anybody when I sent out the email at Shannon's request saying, no, this won't work, please schedule. Now we're 3-4 days later saying, oh, we need to reschedule everybody. Again, I think it goes to respect. You give me a response to an email when I send out a question like that, and we can do something about it. If you wait until right before the meeting, it needs to be posted tomorrow morning. There's not much I can do about it at this point, so.
I think I responded and said, I'm fine with those dates.
You did respond actually, and I shouldn't have made that blanket statement. Yeah, you did respond, and I appreciate that very much.
And with Gerald dying on Saturday, there's a chance that funeral will be Wednesday.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell, those things come up, and I understand that, but,
Yeah.
you know, you're one of us. If you can't make it, the two of us should be able to pick up the slack, but if there's something
Did you say
scheduled,
is that
frankly,
Wednesday
you
or
need to
Thursday?
respond.
Right,
Is that Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
The BOR
The
meeting is
26th.
Thursday
Mhm.
at 9
Okay.
o'clock.
Yeah, that's the one I can't.
Again,
That's this March, this Thursday.
mhm.
So there might not be a county commissioners meeting.
On Thursday? No, it's a meeting with Senator Tester's office and Bureau of Reclamation.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's just not public, it's.
No, it's public,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, it'll be posted tonight, so you
Okay.
get the 48-hour posting. But, they tried to schedule it with us last week, and that's what I'm saying. When the email went out, the response were all positive, and that's it. So it was scheduled with everybody coming from out of town. Now, 2 days before, we're hearing, oh, we probably can't come. Well, we can't reschedule everybody at this point.
Mhm.
I think come
So-
Friday, I think is when I got mine, and it, by the time I looked at the calendar.
How are you, Scott?
Okay, good, how are you?
So I'm gonna have to post that tomorrow morning at 9. And whoever can come, whoever can't, can't.
We got this, senior center flooring, did you see that, Elaine?
No, I did not.
We should discuss that. Get there.
Holy pup. Oh, so it's the whole building.
Well, I assume, well, yeah, it'd be just about the whole building, a big room and.
The kitchen and dining room and
Right,
storeroom.
Right. It's a
And 2
storeroom.
bathrooms.
Oh, it is there. I didn't even remember the bathrooms are on there.
So the office must be the only thing they're not doing then.
Sounds to me like includes dining, kitchen, storeroom, 2, and bathrooms.
It was probably the first time it's been redone, I'm assuming.
Well, that building has some age on it.
Yeah, that's right. 30 years or better now. I'm guessing.
Mhm.
So, any discussion on that, or you want to make a motion, we can go ahead with this? Apparently, that's the only price we have, they're the only flooring outfit here anyway, I think.
I wish somebody from the senior center would come and talk to us about it all. Have you heard anything about it?
Quite a bit. They were in here this week talking about it, the different lunches that they've invited us to. That's been a matter of conversation the last 3 of those lunches. So they've reached out to us quite a bit on this. What has happened is the old carpet that was installed, I don't know how many years ago, a glue was used that is somehow now holding dirt. So they've got all these black spots all over the carpet, which is about half of the building. And it's just because it's old, and I don't know anything about how the glues work, but anytime you clean an industrial carpet like that, you degrade the glue, and so that's why it's turning black, it's just holding onto that dirt. So what they want to do, they've got tiles coming up in the bathrooms, they've got cracking in the kitchen. It really is in rough shape. This is their second bid, actually their third, but this is by far the least expensive of all of them, and that's why they decided to go ahead and bring it forward to us at this time. We talked a couple of years ago about trying to do a major project for them a year. We did the stove 2 years ago, last year we did the sink. Perhaps this could be the project for next year, is the carpet. There is a need, anybody who goes over to the senior center can see that. And they've started to do such a great job of getting more people in there, which is just such a healthy thing for our seniors, that if just 8,000 can do something to help keep them attracting people, it saves lives, it's a good thing.
And a motion?
Sure.
I assume they've all agreed on it and everything, so.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we moved and seconded. We go ahead with the senior center flooring project. I think the amount is, what's the amount, 9?
8,000 something.
$8,446.12.
Question?
I just wanted to ask, are they thinking of carpeting or putting, because a lot of people use wheelchairs and walkers and canes, is it replacing carpet, or is it like a linoleum or a tile?
All linoleum. And if they want carpeting, they'll consider the rugs we have in the courthouse and the detention center. And I would suggest we pay for it out of next year's budget.
Okay, motion on the floor. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Do you want to get a hold of Elsie, because that's who's, I think, the president over there still?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I guess. The next, here it is here, yes. This is from the North Central Regional Meeting. You were there apparently, Laura, you, no, this is about housing juveniles, that's what you want to, what did you come up with at that meeting?
I didn't come up with anything at that meeting. It was an informational discussion. It's involving the Juvenile Detention Alternative Initiative. This is an Annie E. Casey grant for the state of Montana because we have so many disproportionate minority contact with our juveniles and the detention center process. So what this is a D-Ray, is a new tool that is being implemented in April at the regional detention facilities, and there's different centers that are kind of the focal points of this project. What it is just a way of tracking what juveniles get into the system and why. And what they're wondering is, they have their regional centers, but now they're wondering how many of their satellite centers or other counties would also be willing to do this. Basically, all it is a questionnaire on juveniles. We don't have that many. It might take 5 minutes for our staff. I mean, it's really a minority thing. What they want is a letter that we will participate, or a letter explaining why we refuse to participate, why we support some of the bad things that have happened regarding juveniles.
Probably should, talk with the sheriff and with Nick on that. I know as far as housing, that's a whole different volume, housing.
This has nothing to do with housing, Franklin, and that's all spelled out in the letter.
I see part of their detaining, it said.
No, it's not, I don't know how else to put it for you, Franklin. This has nothing to do with the housing of them. It's tracking juveniles who enter into this detention center process. So we won't be together again for 2 weeks. It's up to you guys if you want to put it back on the agenda. We certainly can have a discussion with, it would probably be our, I don't know who it would be, deputies who are responsible for picking up juvenile youths would be the ones that would just fill out this questionnaire, and it's all computerized.
Do we need a meeting, or can we just ask them to
I
do it?
think we can just turn that over to
We
the
can just,
sheriff, and she can give it to whoever.
well, it needs to come from the commissioners, because this is, we're the administrators of the county. I mean, we can't, they do the project, we're the ones who initiate it. So what they're asking is the county going to be involved? So in my mind, this is a no-brainer. This is a statement that says Broadwater County does not support disproportionate minority contact, DMC, for juveniles in the juvenile detention center. We write a letter stating that because that is the way we feel, that we will take part in the few juveniles we have that come through the system, making sure that they do not fit under the DMC through this D-Ray, which is a questionnaire. That's it. If we decide we don't want to have anything to do with this, and the opposite is true, then we send a letter that says, no, we will not participate in this, we will not have anything to do with this, we have no need or room for improvement, growth, or change. It's a pretty simple one to me. I've been immersed in this for quite some time. I've given reports to this commission on more than one occasion after our meetings. So it's kind of an easy one.
Got something?
Are we ready? Sort of, kind of?
Oh.
Come on in.
I'm in the midst of bouncing between 3 places, so.
Let's,
The honest truth of it is, we're not gonna get to it today.
Perfect, great answer. I love that response. So, because I really have no idea where I'm even at right now, so. But I had a detective show up for a training and I forgot about it, so. It was in the fine print on my calendar.
By the way, congratulations,
Which one?
the grandpa thing.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so, last week, I think I was telling you, Myra got voted to class president. And so that was cool, except she's stressed out because now she had to design a plaque to leave the academy, but she's happy about it anyways. And then Wyatt came in and told me that was gonna be grandpa. I was like, whoo, and then I survived prom weekend, which was painful, but survived it, so. Been to my 7th grand march, I've got 5 to go.
So question, did you survive prom weekend as a father or as a deputy?
No, as a father, right? See, yeah, the drama associated with prom and dresses is more than I can bear, so.
Sons are okay.
Yeah, sons
Oh,
make it easier.
yeah, they do, and I honestly thought that when Devin and Wyatt were in high school, I thought they were gonna kill me. I'm never gonna survive you 2, and now I've got 2 girls, I'm going, I want my boys back. I mean, it's,
I love my girls, but girls are harder than boys.
oh, well, I spent, 5 hours in Bozeman, went to every dress store in Bozeman. None of them had the right dress. Oh no, wrong color, wrong size, wrong shape, blah, 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 blah. I almost went to the Hope House and checked myself in down there. I was like, I can't handle you guys. And I thought if I said, you find the dress first, then we'll go eat dinner, thought that might be some encouragement to move the process along. No, it just made things worse. So when we finally got to dinner, it was miserable because everybody, 3 girls are all pissed off at each other. And I was like, really? Okay. And then, so they go, we're going to Billings to go dress shopping. I'm not going. And so they got there, one store. They go to one store. She finds a dress for dreams. She's happy. Everyone's happy. And I'm like, I'm happy. And I got in trouble because I didn't go. And yeah, so it was a lose-lose for me, but they were happy for a minute. So, yeah, it's all good. But it's good. It's coming around. So,
Did she have a good time?
yeah, sort of. So, you know, I asked, I said, you guys dance? No one really danced. So I'm thinking, okay, they spent all this money decorating, buying stupidly expensive dresses. So Leah's dress, the price they got was $750.
Oh, man.
And they got it for $330. And I'm like, what a deal. No, what would have been a deal would have been about $75. That would have been a deal. $350 is still insane, or $330. And of course, Lacey needed one because Sis got a dress. So there was another $100 for a dress that fits a 5-year-old. And I'm going, money well spent. But yeah, she said that no one hardly danced, and then they just kind of hung out and talked. I'm like, okay, well, you could have done that, a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. But then we had, it took 3 people in a small army to put the dress on. And then every time she had to go to the bathroom, her mom had to go with her to help her because it was this big poofy thing. And so I'm like, and then we had to sew part of it together when they put it on, and the makeup wasn't right, and the hair wasn't right. And I just said,
Sounds easier.
Boy, it's making
I'm
me
sitting there
glad
going,
to
you know,
feel
I
like
got
that.
a bottle of whiskey in my garage, and I'm gonna go meet it because it's just too much. And she came home, at least she was smiling, like I say, they did okay, but I wasn't too concerned. I said, and she went with Connor Watson, which is probably one of the most innocent kids that I can think of. And the other part that was really nice, and Leah didn't think it was funny, but you know, they had to like tie it all up and do it, and they sewed this piece in there and this, that, what have you. I'm like, took a picture, she was, what are you doing? I said, well, at least I know what it looked like when it left. So when you come back, I'll know what it looked like then. And she's like, oh God, Connor. And I'm like, yeah, good point. You know, Connor's too quiet. So he come down the road, I had to laugh. I said, that's the slowest I've seen you drive, because I'm on a dirt road. I said, yeah, I haven't been want to chip the paint, you know, but he come down my driveway at about 2 miles an hour, now standing outside, and I don't know, he was a little nervous, but yeah, it was good. So I'm learning. That's why I'm a firm believer, if you had daughters and they grew up, you deserve sainthood. I just need a prescription for like Prozac. But whenever you guys want to talk, we'll talk again. So, okay, thank you.
See you
Yeah.
later. I almost feel like we should apply.
What do you think of Buffalo whiskey?
Right? The best stand-up routine I've seen in a long time.
Well, his actions, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize those dresses cost that much anymore.
Oh, man. So really with the JDAI, again, it's a no-brainer for me. I've been sharing what I can. You know, what does the commission want to do?
I think we need to be involved.
And there's no question, we have to be involved, you
Right.
know? And that's the thing is, there isn't really a choice in it. It's just saying, we support our kids or we don't. That's simplifying it, but I just don't know how else to put it. I'm happy to draft the letter since this is something that I know so much about, but I'm not gonna do it if this commission isn't gonna support it. I'm not gonna put in the extra time. So it's.
No, I
it's
thought
gotta
we
be a decision
supported.
of the
I don't think there's any,
commission.
Is that a motion?
yeah.
I will second the motion then.
Okay, motion made, second. We support, what's the title?
Our Central Regional Board,
Juvenile
Request on
detention
juvenile,
alternatives.
what?
Juvenile Detention Alternatives Initiative, support of the D-RAI, D-R-A-I.
Okay. Any other discussion? Motion's been made and seconded, that we support this, all in favor,
Aye.
motion passed.
I will be happy to email you guys a copy of the letter, and I'd like to have it out this week. So if, how about if I don't hear from you, I'll assume there's no edits, and if I don't hear from you for signatures, is it okay to stamp your signature? Franklin?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for doing the letter.
You're welcome. We'll aim for having this out on Thursday.
Question?
Mhm.
So you sent the letter to support it, but you said it can be done online, and then you would have the deputies do it since that's who comes in contact with them, is that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, are we past the budgeting deal or no?
No, but hand it off to the chairman.
The budgeting,
That's why Wynn was just here 2 minutes ago.
Well-
That's why John is here.
well, all I see here, we've got a working meeting listed here.
You wrote that in the book. It's your agenda as the chairman. So you should be addressing the people who come in with questions, especially when something is
Well, I
being
would have,
tabled.
but I had anything to do with it, I didn't. I didn't have anything to do with it. All of a sudden, it was a working meeting, I went along with it. In fact, if I remember right, when we talked about it was on this, which we already talked about that mosquito department and the mosquito board, that's the part we're gonna have at a later date.
John, in the interest of not wasting any of your time,
Okay.
this commission is not ready to address the budget yet for the building project.
Okay.
So that is being tabled.
Okay.
So thanks for coming in, and
Can
you're
I
welcome to
ask for an
stay.
overview of what happened this morning,
Yes.
as far as what happened at 9 or whatever that was?
Yes.
Guys vote on that or?
You're the chairman, Franklin. Would you like to answer his question?
The proposal passed for that, $169,000 on that modular. Guess that basically, that's it. There's still gonna be bids coming in for, concrete, wiring, electrical and plumbing.
So that's moving forward though, as far as the offices go?
Yeah. We've gotten the loan, the $400,000 loan. We've got specs so that we have a real close guesstimate on what each of the prices are. We now have a proposal that will be going out, so we get solid bids on all those. And we have the modular that we officially purchased today. So Mike said he has a deadline goal for the modular of June 1st and move-in date for the storage building of June 30th. So, yeah, we're moving ahead now. We just have to decide on the budget part.
Okay, and that would be divvy up who gets what space and everything?
Exactly,
All right.
yeah. Yeah, and what it costs, probably a square footage cost. Just if we look at what other counties have done. If you guys have any better ideas, we're certainly open to them.
Yeah, till we get an overview of what it's gonna look like and everything, we're kind of just sitting, so, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll get you guys some plans with the square footage and all that information as soon as we can.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
all
Yeah,
right.
you're not wasting my time, I had to be in town anyhow.
Oh, good.
I just sat in
Good.
construction for 25 minutes, otherwise I would've been here when it was on time. All right,
Don't have to go the back roads, John.
yeah. Oh, I'm stuck in the middle, it don't matter which way I go with. All right, thank you.
You are welcome to stay.
Oh, I don't know what else was on the agenda. I'm good.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Question. John,
Ferret, F-E-R-R-A-T.
oh, Maurice's? And what part of the building would he be weed? Weed,
As a member of the weed board.
okay.
When did they start working on the highway out there again?
Oh, about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think this is the second week, or the third week coming up now.
I was surprised. I had to take Bob to Billings yesterday afternoon to pick up a truck. And here was all this. And I, oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been doing pretty steady last 2 weeks. We were breaking the weather and everything.
So We have a little bit more mail that came in March, and more things to discuss.
This is from MBAC, Monday, March 23rd. Commission Montana Business System Connection would request that Broward County appoint a replace for Virginia Nerr as a representative of the MBAC Board of Directors. The MBAC Board of Directors includes representative for Lewis and Clark, Bonar, as well as City of Townsend, Helm, Easttown, and Color Springs. Over the past 6 months, MBAC has been using Victor Sample as a technical specialist on projects in that region due to his work experience as a programmer and manager at IBM and Medicatter before that. We have spoken to Victor and he has agreed to act as Broward County representative on the MBAC board of Broward County. It's kind of approved that. We ask that you consider appointing Victor Sample as Broward County representative on the MBAC board of directors. Ryan Hobart, MBAC.
I'll make a motion and that we appoint Victor Sample to represent us on the MBAC board.
A second.
Motion made and second to appoint Victor Sample on the MBAC board. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Is that the Victor Sample that was a school teacher?
His son,
Oh,
Victor Senior, has passed away.
oh, okay.
And Sample is spelled just like Sample.
This is just, see, I can read it off if you want me to. It's actually the same thing.
Or just
Rather-
summarize for
rather-
us.
Yeah, just from the Broward County Economic Development Representative. Basically the same thing, they just wanted to, just to support Victor Sample.
Can I just add another question to clarify? So he's appointed to replace Virginia.
Right.
You wanna keep a copy of this, because you're gonna have to contact them and tell them yes.
Write the number down here.
You need to keep that?
No, that's fine.
Did you guys both get a letter from Teeny? Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's the cat dinner invitation and conference. So last week, we talked about the speed zone request by the citizen down in the southern end of the county. Franklin, you said you would contact MDT for that. Have you done that?
Well, I haven't contacted MDT. I tried to get hold of that person. There was no phone number or anything. I called some friends that were in Three Forks, and they didn't know the person. And they looked in their Three Forks phone books and everything. And so anyway, I made a trip down there, and I contacted, I was actually, the place where it's at, the one is the owner, and this gal is a renter. So when I talked to her, I guess it was her boyfriend, and I talked to the owner of the ground there. And I told him that, we'd start on the process, and it's gonna, might take a little time, but they have a good reason for it, to have a speed limit through there, I feel.
So we agreed last week to move forward on a speed study. You said you would call MDT. Will you be calling them this week then to request that?
I can.
If we're gonna tell our citizens, we should do it.
Well, I wanted to find the person that sent it first of all, so it had contact. And it worked out because I got 2 contacts there now.
Okay, so I guess I heard an affirmative from you?
MDT, would that be the Dude office?
No, Helm office.
Is that the
I
only
think
one?
you viewed
Probably
actually.
you.
I think it's
Probably
you.
Jeff Hubert.
That's what I was thinking.
I didn't see anything getting done on this, so I did write a letter to Karen, and informed her of what we talked about at our meeting, and just sent it to her last week. If you guys wanna see a copy, you're welcome to it, otherwise I'll give it to Ann for the minutes.
Yeah, let's see.
Representative Bishop calls for long-term funding for Pilt and secure rural schools.
Yeah,
Whoa.
if I could have that back, I'll give it to Ann. Two more things. I talked to, we have 3 different claims here that I pulled out that I wanted to talk to you guys about. The governor's Medicaid expansion bill did not get revived out of the House by 1 vote, but Ed Buttry's bill does now have a number to it. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. He is a Republican out of Hatter. I passed out information about how much money our citizens pay, and really focused on the inmate portion of it. The inmates who end up in our detention center become the Broadwater County inmates, the burden of our Broadwater County property taxpayers to pay for medical, prescriptions, dental care. And to illustrate that point, we have a bill for $402 for dental care for inmates, 2 of them, just from this week's claims. We have an ER visit for $473. This is for an inmate. And then we have $1,187 in inmate medications and medical supplies for our inmates. That's all in 1 week. So with that in mind, I would like this board to consider supporting Medicaid expansion, and Senator Ed Buttry's bill. And this
Question,
is-
did Medicaid expansion, or Medicaid that we have with Mako doesn't pay for this?
Nope, that's inmate medical, it's not Medicaid. And what it does is it covers catastrophe, medical catastrophes. Somebody goes in and has a heart attack, then the inmate medical covers them. But for these routine and smaller items for us, and that's sum up about $2,000 last week, is not covered. And then, of course, we do have a premium in here too for inmate medical. So,
Isn't any of that covered under that inmate medical?
that's
Not
what
until it
Elaine
gets up to
just
like
asked.
25,000 or
Yeah, it's got a
more.
pretty high
It's a pretty
deductible.
hefty deductible before it ever kicks in.
And it's to protect us from a $300,000 bill, so in that way it does a great job.
But the day-to-day stuff, it doesn't do a thing.
Right. Now, how much of the senator's bill would necessarily cover that, I don't know. But the thing is you have inmates all over the country and a lot of documentation that people are getting health care by incarceration. For major things like heart attacks and cancer, people are getting themselves arrested ending up in detention centers and letting county property taxpayers pay for their cancer treatments, their heart treatments, their open heart surgeries. So I think this is something that we should address so that we do not allow our citizens to continue to be burdened.
True. I screwed up on my open heart surgery, I had to pay for it.
Yeah, you should have gotten yourself taken to next door. So, do you guys want to continue to table this? Do you want to come out in support of the senator's bill?
I'll make a motion to come out in support of the senator's bill, because otherwise, we can't afford what's gonna happen.
It's just gonna get to be more and more. I will
Yes, it
second
is.
the motion.
You see the taxpayer paying for it, it's spread out.
Yeah.
See what that is,
No, nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's such a relief to our citizens. Call for the question,
Is that a motion, Julie?
It was a motion.
Oh, okay.
and I seconded.
Okay. Motion moved, seconded. Accept this bill by, what is his name?
We support Senator Ed Buttrey's bill
Ed Buttrey's bill
on Medicaid expansion.
on Medicaid expansion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Interesting. Senator Ed Buttrey and Senator Ed Butcher were there.
Oh,
Butcher, turned into the dog.
yeah. Now, was that a 3-0 vote? I didn't hear your
Yeah.
aye. All right. So these three need to be signed, but I wanted to illustrate how much our citizens had to pay just this week, that I think that they deserve some relief from.
You got your hair on.
I'm gonna grow back out.
I like it, it looks nice.
Thank you.
You don't like it.
This is a
You're not
little
used to it.
short. Yeah. I think there's 2 more kids. Are we in the wrong chairs?
We got some more people out there.
There's
What
supposed
does
to be a
it
couple
say?
more
Does it
kids
say
coming,
inmate
yeah.
reserve?
Council seating.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, we're not in the inmate section. Should
That
we
would be
move
really
over?
fun. We had pretty little orange outfits for you in those sections.
Flip flops,
See?
That's right.
orange ones.
Jewelry, silver,
Yeah, silver jewelry. Just for the wrists.
that's right.
If you're really bad, you get them for the ankles too.
That's right.
They're not cute. Just remember. No ankles, no. You won't remember.
Just think how fashionable you'd be.
It's true. Hayden could get those handcuffs over her head. She's totally double jointed.
Can you?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, she could take them.
You three will be talking, or you guys will be talking to 3X or old 4-Hers.
Yeah.
So we're a friendly audience.
See?
I was at 4-H myself when all the kids were.
Oh, sorry.
I was.
2 of us.
And my kids, all 4 were.
Good afternoon.
Okay, can I ask you for names?
I'm Cassie Cooper.
I'm Paige Bushnell. Ethan Cooper.
Me, Rick Cooper, sorry.
I'm Cassie Smith.
Brittany Smith.
Are you the Leroy Cooper that used to ride bulls?
Depends.
Well, when I saw that name, I thought, that has to be who that is.
You're
Yes, it was.
Okay, well, you can have the floor and do your presentation, come up, or you can speak from where you're at, or however you wanna do it.
Cassie presenting.
You guys wanna go up and sit, or do you wanna stand up, or?
There's three, you can give them three, so they all can look at it.
Thank you very much.
Those are
Thank you.
our
Thank you.
Montana, our papers for doing a 4-H service week.
Stand up in front of us all go. Cause they can't
Sit
hear
right
you from
there.
back here.
There you go.
And the service week goes on April 15th through the 19th. And we were wondering what type of signs we can put up on the side of Highway 12, because we're putting up signs for awareness on road safety.
So would this be the sign?
No, we were gonna meet with you guys first and then meet back with everyone who's gonna be a part of this to figure out what kind of signs, so we can know our limits and know what we can and can't do. with
Sizes.
Sizes. That paper is just like a description of the service week.
Hmm.
So the kids were, like, they had some plans, they've talked to the schools, and the schools are on board with helping the kids with the project. So East Helena School are they starting anything yet?
Yeah.
So tell them about the East Helena School.
I talked to the East Helena schools, or East Helena School, and we are going to be doing a competition between classrooms, homeroom classrooms, and submitting ideas to put on the posters or billboards or signs. Yeah.
Now, these are a billboard type sign, how big, or you got any idea on that?
That's what we came here to know, how big they can be, because we need an example for the schools.
I think, I'm gonna have to come from the highway department on that. And now you're talking about 287, you said Highway 12,
Yes.
287.
Yes,
You're talking about all the way through the county, or just
yes.
Winston area? Okay.
We're starting in Winston, but we've expanded it to the schools to try to make it through the county, because we want to make awareness on the highway about safe driving. We want one of the signs to be big enough so that people could read them clearly and it wouldn't cause more accidents. So we just weren't sure on how big we can go. And it'll be fairly simple. The 4-H logo, of course, and then just drive safe or something small on there.
So what is it gonna cost you to do this?
We don't. Well, to make the sign part, once we get like our idea from East Helena, from Townsend, we're gonna see if we could have the Townsend High School wood shop and make the sign for us, and then we would get everyone together to decorate the signs and put them up. So we don't really know how much it would cost us just yet, because we just need before we go on what we can and can't do. Well, we're hoping we're gonna have a lot of like donations and volunteers, so that it'll cost us very little to none, but
Are you gonna paint the signs, or are you gonna have a kind of a all-weather deal made up and then put on this wood sign? Or
We
you
kind of want it to be like an all-weather thing, so Leroy does a lot of woodworking stuff, so we're trying to figure out what we can do to, put a clear coat or something on them. I know the signs in East Helena, the yellow ribbons, when you go down Main Street, they've been there forever and ever. So Kendra Pizzini, another leader, was gonna find out what they did with those to keep them preserved, because they still look really like they were just put up. So we're trying to figure out what they did to do something similar with ours.
So how much money do you think you're gonna need?
I don't know. A
They
cou-
don't,
couple-
they don't know yet.
No,
They-
not really.
We're a week into it, so we're just.
You're just kind of in the planning stage.
Yes.
Mhm.
So if you wanted to check, who do we make the check to?
Oh.
What's the club?
Winston Eager Beavers 4-H Club.
And an address?
47 Furman Lane,
Vernon Lane.
East Helena.
59635. So, and the way that it states on there is, they kind of want us to do something within that week, and we know this project, we may not get anything done because that's coming up. But if we can just get something started, and Courtney is Cassie's mom, she has some good ideas, and maybe some things we can do prior to putting some signs up, maybe, was it bringing people to the school to talk or doing, I can't remember.
So with on the Montana Department of Transportation website, I was trying to figure out what some of the restrictions were and what the rules were as far as putting up the signage, and came across a number of programs that the Highway Department already supports, like Plan to Live and Alive at 25. They have coloring books and brochures and defensive driving courses that they offer through Helena, and certainly I can reach out to them and contact them and see if they would be interested in bringing something like that out here for our benefit as well. But essentially just building off of some of the stuff that they already have in place, that we could make it, instead of just being about road signs, also bringing to the schools kind of some educational courses, instructions, presentations, what have you, to kind of get their additional involvement, not just the recommendation for the signage. Still have a lot yet to determine, but essentially, again, a lot of what we're trying to kind of kick this off of is the idea of the road signs, and even what's on the website. It's there's applications for welcome to signs, there's applications for advertising signs. I don't really see this as falling into either category, and there's not an application for an other sign. So I think once we know kind of the scope of what we're allowed to do, we can get the girls more engaged in determining materials and how many people and where it's gonna take place, and all of that effort, but we really have no idea where to start.
You know, we have a press lady right here. I bet she would take time to talk to these girls after the meeting.
And Paige is also our historian reporter, so she is going to do a monthly written something for the newspaper about what our club is doing, and that's gonna be her first one that will come to you.
Do you think you'll have it in for next week's paper? You know, the deadline is usually for articles Friday,
Okay? She can do that.
and you have their email address that you can send it to?
I think so.
It should be in the paper. I know it's Broadwater Reporter at
Yeah, I think I have it.
something.net.
Because I believe I've sent our club pictures in a couple of
I think
times,
it's
so.
mt.net, but it should be in the paper, so if she can get that in by Friday, then that would be good.
Okay.
I also contacted MDT to try and figure out, you know, obviously nothing can go on the roadway, it would have to be on private property, but it's the same thing, it kind of fits under other. So they're kind of working on how they can get creative and maybe partner this with one of their other programs already, and kind of smooth a path for you guys to be able to put the signs up. So we should be getting some more information for you from MDT as well.
Great.
And we'll certainly give you a call as soon as that comes in.
And I know Rick Deal was saying something about, there's that stretch between Townsend and Winston that you cannot put any signs in. And when you drive through it, there's nothing there. So I've been telling them that's probably an area we can't do anything with. But leaving town and coming to town, there's a lot of options there, is what he was trying to explain it to me, but I wasn't sure.
You'd think it'd be so easy, but it's
Yeah.
really very complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the guy I talked to at MDT was pretty excited about this project, so I think he'll come through for us, or for you guys, for
We
the
did.
whole county. all
We
the
put it out there
citizens.
to
Right.
all the 4-H clubs in the county, so we don't have a lot of participation, they're all taking on other little projects, but most of them have committed to a project day with us, so when we do get down to really making things, the majority of the 4-Hers are gonna come together and get that done, and we're hoping the schools are gonna do that as well. Townsend, like she said, has committed to that, so they will help us with that project also, so I think it could be a really cool thing.
It's excellent, this is a great idea.
Now, has East Helena got any maids yet, or they're just in the same stage you are yet?
East Helena, because Cassie and Gracie go there, they're just gonna do the contest as far as, what can be on the signs, words wise.
Mhm.
They probably won't help much with it, but they do want the kids in the community to be involved with it and learn about the safety aspect of driving, so that part is good. It'll mostly be up here in Townsend, and I think that we get the majority of people working on the project, so.
You know, there's a real active club out in Toston
Mm-hmm.
you might contact.
Hugh, and they are working on the gazebo, so they'll just help us with the work day, but they can't do anything else
How
right now.
about the Pearl Creek Helpers?
Kind of the same thing, they all just said they're willing to do a work day. Yeah, and I'm on the council and the livestock committee and all of that, so I'm pushing it. Good for you.
I can get you the email for the Three Forks Herald if you wanna put something down there
Okay.
so that the south end of the county knows what's
That
going on.
would be great.
Good idea, young ladies. Very good.
Get your work cut out for you, don't you?
That they do.
But
And
what
when
a
we get,
project.
yeah, when we get any information, can we contact one of you with it? Do you want us to email you or call you?
Call.
Call?
Yeah.
All right. So, what's your name again?
Paige Bushner. And my name is Cassie Smith.
Or what phone number should we use for you guys?
Well, you can use my home phone at 227-3766.
All right.
And then if you need to email anything, Laura, you can email it to me and then I can get it to the girls.
Okay. All right, and I can get that from Nicole.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is this something that they should be going to Department of Transportation about too? Or are you guys gonna, can you guys help on that end other than,
Transportation's gonna have the final word, I think, or I know they will.
They would, I think it would be smoother for you guys, for us to intervene with them,
Okay.
just because we already have such a good relationship. We can kind of give credibility because we are the county requesting this, since it's gonna go through the county. So I think we'll be able to get things done maybe a little bit more quicker. And I think that's something that we would be more than happy with, because this is such a good project,
okay.
yeah.
Do you know what their timeline, I don't know if they have all the materials, but just in general, kind of a sign off, because we don't necessarily want to engage the schools either and have them start committing to having contests for road signs that might never come to fruition. So we want to be very thoughtful about how we get them involved too, but we don't want to wait until the last minute and then kind of miss the scope of when school's in session and when the 4-H week might take place and all of that. So do you know kind of how long before they say yay or nay, or maybe but only 3 by 5, or?
No, but I can put the pressure on, with what
Okay.
you just said. Yeah, the guy I wanna contact next is, working specifically on, kids and DUI. He's with the DUI task force, he's their liaison with MDT, it's kind of a nice fit. Is the one that, may be able to do the partnering. There's a lot of, phone calls, and they'll contact this person, you know, the kind of this is so different that nobody really has it as their bailiwick. So, no, but I'll put the pressure on and give a timeline. and let you guys know, because I think you do need to know that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
So I have just one question. So basically, like the title that you're doing, I know, understand you're doing it for Service Week, I would like to get it there, but it's the safety aspect of driving. Is that how you would kind of take it to the schools?
Is
Yeah,
that-
I think that's how the girl was saying it was the promoting safe driving,
What was it?
promoting safe driving.
Okay.
If, I don't know where it stands right now, I think Highway 93 was the most dangerous highway in Montana, and we were second. I don't know where that stands now with 93 doing all their construction, but I know we're close to being first if we aren't already.
There used to be a sign out that says, "Pray for me, I drive 93."
I drove it my whole life. It was awesome. No, much better now compared to this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's insane, so.
Do you have any questions?
Anything else?
Do you have any questions?
And maybe, you guys can figure out or ask these guys if they know of any clubs or groups that we might talk to that might wanna help us with this project. Donations or other.
Do you know of any groups that would help us with donations or otherwise?
What a great question. I thought we could come up with a few. So the community website is townsendmt.com. And that was put together by Broadwater County Development Corporation. And the president is Ernie Forey, Forrey. And if you email while on that site, you get Ernie. Ask him. And he's got some awesome people on the board. And I bet we'd be inclined to say yes.
Right.
Rotary, Townsend Rotary Club. We meet Tuesday night, if any of you are available, tomorrow night, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys wanna come. And you know who's gonna be there at 6:30? The Lieutenant Governor, who was a teacher, Angela McLean. So if you guys wanted to come, I can kinda skirt you in there, and maybe you can get a donation from her too.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Where's
as-
that?
Oh, thank you, the Legion. It's gonna be at the American Legion.
Okay. Right.
As a Rotarian, I shouldn't do this, but there's the Lions too. They're a good group.
And as a reporter, I probably shouldn't do this, but the American Legion does support children and youth. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Legion recognized program if you write up a good request. Although our next meeting is until the day after Easter, and I can't say that the sum would be a large amount because we're not as fortunate as the Rotary and the Lions, but you could give it a try. And that address is, it's the American Legion Post, #42, Post Office Box 193. And the commander is Tim Gavin, Gavin.
If we find that there are active people within the community that would be willing to do like a presentation, I don't know, like if MAD has a Mothers Against Drunk Driving, if they have an active group in the county, but if we wanted them to kind of come and do something at the schools to really bring it into there, is that something we also do through the county, or do we then approach more the schools or the Board of Education or something like that?
You could go directly through the school.
Schools,
The
yeah.
local schools can put those things together. And the Townsend Area Chamber of Commerce is another good one.
So sign-wise, we would have to go to the Department of Transportation or MDT.
Yeah, but if you guys want, you can let us do that heavy lifting for you.
Okay,
We'll kind of pinch hit.
all right,
And then we'll call we'll call you Cassie and let you know what MDT says, and you can share that with everybody if that works.
all right, thank you.
All right.
So they should be able, they'll give us like, sizes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just doesn't sound like they're gonna be that restrictive.
Okay.
They just have to give approval.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sizes and how many,
And
so number
like
wise.
posts and T-posts, how we put them up. I don't know.
Yeah, is there, yeah, if you could find out restrictions on how they attach to the ground, I mean, if we can just use the fence posts, or if they gotta be on. That I guess I would not know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna guess they're gonna say it has to be into the private property. You can't actually put anything on fences.
Okay.
Even political signs, you can't put on fences. They're supposed to be on
On the other side.
private property, yeah. So I'm guessing it'll be the same requirement. But I'll get all that for you, and then, once we have somebody who's kind of gonna take point from MDT, then I'll put them in touch with you guys directly so that you have each other to talk to and build
Okay.
that relationship.
Okay.
This is an awesome project. You guys have done really good to put this together.
Wonderful idea.
How many is in
Yeah.
your club in Winston?
What?
How many belong to your club in Winston?
About 17.
17?
That's a good number,
It's a good sized club.
yeah.
Any boys in the group?
We have three, four,
We have 4.
five. We just got new ones.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Good little club.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation.
You guys did good.
Thank you for your time.
You bet.
You have a question? Just the way we were sitting.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
Good luck to you now.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you. Doesn't the just deep for the young?
Yes, doesn't it, Doug?
Because you hear more bad things than you hear about good things.
Because the new kids are too busy doing stuff to make the news.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got quite a little project there.
Yes, they do.
You know, now this has been a day or two ago, when I was in 4-H, Winston was a real small club. They had like 6 members, it was a very small club. And now they're a going concern.
At one point in time, Terry Miles was the 4-H member.
Was she?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the city council had the costume club come for the gazebo. And then, another group that is not 4-H, but like Boy Scouts and their Eagle projects. They do some nice projects, volunteer, and even outside of Eagle, when you come into the Legion, that box there was done by the Scouts out at the Mormon church.
Oh.
And presented, actually it was a year ago, Flag Day, when they presented it to us, instead of that yucky garbage.
You've done some nice things for this
Yeah.
community.
Yeah, so it's nice that there's, I think you see it, or you realize it more in a small town like here than in some of the bigger towns you tend to, or cities, you get the bad news. And mostly in Montana, I think you get a lot of the good news stuff.
That was so cute. This one over here, you could tell she was nervous. It just, it had to be a hard thing for them to come talk to us, number one.
No doubt about it.
Experience.
Oh, wonderful experience for her.
with that,
We've got this. We're not gonna get to it today because it's almost 4:30. It needs to go on the agenda for next time.
put that back on.
Yeah.
I have two more questions. DIS, I talked to Michelle right before she left. And of course, she's the one who wrote the letter for the county to Brenda's attorney when Brenda gave us that Freedom of Information Act. And she said, you know what? You guys, as the commission, should just send a letter to her attorney and say, if you are going to continue to hold us to this, then please write the check, and we will continue to hold off on implementing our internet and email. Otherwise, if we do not hear from you this date, we will assume that you are vacating the order, and then we can move forward and give DIS the cover they need. Are you guys okay with just writing a letter to Jane Merce and ourselves?
I think that's fine.
Okay, we can certainly send it to Corey to have him double check it if he chooses, but we just can't continue to do this.
No, it's gone on way too long already.
And that's of course what she said as well.
Instead of adjust your own injuries.
Joe, adjusting entries.
You do need to include the date or the months for clarity.
December through March.
Yeah,
And guess what was last time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess with that, we'll,
we also tabled the County Day of Recognition for National Service, which is April 7th. We're not meeting again until April 6th. And it doesn't sound like there might be maybe two of us Thursday. What do you guys want to do with that?
I want to go forth with it.
I do too. Do you want to do some planning on the 6th for a later date in April, or a 1 month postpone?
I'm fine. Because I think it would be hard to get it ready by the 6th.
I just don't think we can. And like you said, it's 4:20 now, we've been at it all day. And we don't have a full commission on Thursday
No.
to work on it. So should we, I would think we'd be wise to put together a planning meeting, and put some time into putting together a date, a schedule, what we wanna do, who we wanna thank for what.
We can work on it. Well, yeah.
Should we schedule that on the 6th then, and just do this late? Better late than never?
okay, what do you wanna call it? Working, a working meeting on,
I would say
Date.
planning meeting for County Day of Recognition for National Service. I don't think it should be a working meeting, because we may need to make a decision or two, and you can't with a working meeting.
No, that's true.
No, it's a planning meeting.
And April 7th in Montana can be iffy, even though this whole spring and winter was totally enjoyable.
Yeah. And then the last question I have is, do we want to try and have a planning meeting regarding the loan repayment? We're possibly looking at being in June 1st. We should start some discussions on, square footage cost, that kind of thing. Is April 6th a good date, or Franklin, do you wanna coordinate that with Mike?
Okay, now what is this you're talking about, I was writing here?
The building project,
Okay, what about it?
do you want me to repeat everything? Mike said earlier this morning that he expects that we will be into the modular by the 1st of June. Based on that, we should probably solidify a repayment schedule. So I'm wondering if you would like to add that also to April 6th, or if you'd like to coordinate more with Mike before putting it on the agenda.
Well, they have enough of the information by the 6th. Because until we get the final figures, what everything's gonna be, are you
That's,
gonna go just on percentage, so no matter what the cost is, the percentage will stay the same for each agency?
no, Franklin. When you have a building that you lease out, you do it by a square footage rate for commercial space.
Right.
That's why I suggested that we try and come up with a square footage rate for a repayment schedule. So the percentage is irrelevant at that point.
Well,
We have a price of $360,000. It could be slightly higher, it could be slightly lower. I don't know that doing a percentage, I guess that's something you could propose, in which case, again, the solid number doesn't matter as much as whatever your proposal would be for the percentage that each different department covers. I guess that'd be your proposal.
well, it looks to me like we should have more of a final figure.
Then I would suggest that you get a hold of Mike and work that out with him, as to when he'll have stuff.
Yeah, I guess I can go with that. So as long as we don't wait too long and get caught with our pants down.
Right.
Can I just have a clarification of what you said? So who will get with Mike?
Franklin
Okay,
will.
that's what I thought.
It's because it's his idea.
A meeting for agency space, I guess we put on there. Or per square. Okay.
And of course, that doesn't need to be figured out till next Monday, so it does give you a week to get together with Mike. You do need to send out an agenda that says we're canceling next Monday due to the Macros conference. Unless we're gonna have a meeting.
I think she already had it in here. I'll check with her now.
Right, you have to advertise it, Franklin.
That we're not meeting.
Right, you can't just put it in the book, it has to be advertised.
No, I know, but I think she's already got it. But I'll check with her, make sure. So, I guess, with that, we'll adjourn the meeting at 4:25.
It's been a long day.